Have you anytime experienced any kind of discrimination in your life? The discrimination may be in terms of caste or region or language or even in terms of gender. Hi, I'm Sosin Ma'am, inviting you back to Anthro Times, a series that we have started to help the aspirants of UPSC writing with Anthropology to have a walkthrough of the syllabus. As I had mentioned in the last discussion, I would be talking about a topic called social stratification. Stratification loosely means any type of more or less permanent, if I can say, hierarchy. So it is a more or less permanent system of arrangement of people in social ladders. Across the world, all the societies have some kind of stratification or the other. The stratification may be caste, class, or even gender. Some of them can be altered, some may not be altered. But by stratification, we mean a more or less permanent system of hierarchy. Now, in the later part of today's talk, I will also be talking about what is the significant difference between a social stratification and social hierarchy. Nevertheless, let me first tell you, in this part of the syllabus, what the student has to study in the context of social stratification is what are the different types of social stratification, on what basis stratifications are brought in, and interestingly, what are the functions and dysfunctions of social stratification. I mean, it looks very interesting here, something that is seen as a negative. I mean, if at all I say that, see, this is what is the layered system in the society and this is not going to change, it is more or less permanent. Somebody who is there down below would remain down below, and somebody is there up in the higher layers, they would remain there as such. When I say this, there is an inherent negative element there. In spite of that, when I'm mentioning that in a social stratification, there is both a positive and negative element, functional and dysfunctional element, that makes the discussion pretty interesting. When it comes to Indian anthropology, study of caste as a social stratification has attracted a lot of academic discussions. In the interest of a beginner, let me bring to you the basic difference between hierarchy and stratification. See, if you are working in any organization, for example, there is a hierarchical setup, meaning there is somebody who is heading the organization, there are so many layers. As you go down, there is a pyramidal structure. There are more people down below and less people up above. And if it is a hierarchical system, there is a laid out procedure based on improving your qualification skills whatsoever. Based on that, you are trying to move up the ladders. That is a hierarchical setup. But when we talk about stratification, technically, it is something that will not change. Somebody who is there up above would remain there, somebody down below would remain there. Say Brahmanical caste and the low caste. Now, what is interesting in Indian anthropological discussions is how a caste that was actually a social stratification has transformed into a social hierarchy. These are the kind of things that you are going to study in this topic of social stratification and social hierarchy. Now, as far as the books of reference are concerned, for cultural anthropology and social anthropology in general, I have mentioned certain set of books. I am trying to reiterate them. One basic book can be Ember, but when it comes to such kind of social institutions, you may perhaps refer to Miller and Dewees of anthropology, or even perhaps you can read books or articles written by M.N. Srinivas in Indian context for specific readings of social stratification, social hierarchy in Indian context. Hope you are all enjoying this particular series of Anthro Times. Continue watching me for more interesting type of discussions in anthropology syllabus and to get a hands-on understanding of the basic aspects. Have a good time. Thank you.